Coming up on Channel 8 News, we'll take a look at the solar eclipse that swept the nation Monday with large crowds that joined together to watch the rare celestial event. Plus, construction is beginning to resume in Aggieville, but for how much longer? And later, we'll hear about a new workout studio that is building a stronger community on and off campus.
Taking a quick look at our day weather. Today we're going to have a high of 52. It's going to be pretty sunny, but it's going to be feeling like 43. And we're going to have northwest winds of 20 miles per hour. We're going to have more weather coming up next on Channel 8 News.
This is KKSU-LD, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Good morning and welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Noah Birchman. Coming up today, we'll be hearing from on-campus faculty about the new cybersecurity training aimed to protect the university from another cyber attack. Plus, it's all about sustainability. We'll hear from the K-State Fashion Department about the fashion industry going sustainable. Later, we'll have more on Ayoka Lee's decision to return for a final season here at K-State. The total solar eclipse was visible to millions on April 8th as its path crossed the country. Channel 8's Parker McGowan has more on Monday's event.
Monday's clear skies featured the first full solar eclipse Americans could see since 2017.
But during an eclipse, the moon actually gets dead between the sun and the earth, and it casts its shadow on part of the earth. And in that part where it's casting that shadow, which might be maybe 60 miles or 80 miles in diameter, there's a total eclipse.
The Flint Hills Discovery Center put on their Solarbration event, which featured telescopes, free activities, and some local astronomers.
So this is one of the events taking place across all 50 states. It just happens to line up with the solar eclipse perfectly. And the solar eclipse that's happening today is special because it's one of the last ones that we're going to see for about another 20 years, traveling through this much of the United States without having to travel outside of the country.
The brightness of the solar eclipse can be so damaging to the eyes that the Flint Hills Discovery Center are giving away these free glasses that must be worn while looking at the sun.
Some people at the event were even having some fun with some man-made projects using the shadow of the sunlight.
Oh, we're doing citizen journalism because we want to record this historic event. And so we have all of our little tools so that we can take pictures of what we see with the eclipse.
From Manhattan, Parker McGowan, Channel 8 News.
The event ended up with a grand turnout of over 300 people enjoying the once-in-a-lifetime scientific event. Be on the lookout for more things happening at the Flint Hills Discovery Center. Nothing but charred grass and ash are left in southern Pottawatomie and northern Riley County after a fire ripped through this weekend. What started as a controlled burn was rekindled by wind on Friday night. Now known as the Brookland-Axelton Fire, it consumed 8,200 acres and one structure while forcing multiple households to evacuate. As of yesterday afternoon, the fire is 90% contained, and while it is still being monitored, all crews have pulled off and allowed residents back in their homes.
If you think about an acre, you can think of it like a football field. So 80 to 100 football fields. It's pretty large. That's one of the largest ones we've had here in quite a while. So we had people from around the state come in, different task forces. I want to say it was probably a couple hundred total. Just a thanks to the community members for helping us out. We had plenty of food and water, and they were real supportive of us throughout the process of that fire.
Keeping kids safe on the road is a top priority for parents, but with so many options, it can be confusing. That's why Riley County Emergency Services have been providing help. Every Tuesday, families can come to Firehouse Number 5 in Manhattan for a free car seat safety check. Certified technicians make sure your child's car seat is installed correctly and fits them properly. Car crashes are a leading cause of death for children, so taking a few minutes for a checkup could be a lifesaver. The Firehouse seatbelt checks are open Tuesdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. No appointment needed.
We're here 24/7, so is the Riley County Police Department. If you have any concern about whether your car seat's installed correctly or fits your kiddo, there's always going to be someone available to check it out for you. So we do the check lane Tuesdays from 11 to 1, but we're available outside of that if we need to make a special arrangement.
All In for K-State is an annual day of giving started by the KSU Foundation in the 2018-2019 school year. Each year, a different focus is chosen for the giving. In total, nearly $2.5 million have been raised over 4 giving days. In the program's first year, Cats Cupboard was the targeted area, with donations contributing to the establishment of a new building on campus. Other areas of focus have included textbooks, mental health services on campus, and most recently, financial literacy. The KSU Foundation has postponed the Giving Day this year to reevaluate the program as a whole, which was planned when first established 5 years ago.
We're always thinking about ways that we elevate our programs and are making sure that we're in alignment with the needs of our campus partners. So under construction is our theme of the year, because construction means progress. And so we are taking a pause to really reimagine and make sure that we're in alignment with all of the incredible things that are happening with the new strategic plan and with the needs on campus.
It's time for the annual cybersecurity training. Make sure you brush up on your spam spotting skills, whether that be an email or even a phone call. Reporter Megan Stubbings has the story.
With the recent cyber attack at the beginning of the spring semester, the university is cracking down on cybersecurity. It's important now more than ever to get your cybersecurity training finished.
Especially in light of the incident that happened, we just want to make sure that people are clear about what phishing scams look like, what their expectations are when they're using electronic resources at K-State.
Another way the university keeps students, faculty, and staff safe is by Duo. This allows you to approve any sign-in through your device.
The idea that it makes it more secure, obviously, makes it harder for people to just hop into your account right away. But on the flip side, like if I'm not at my computer at home, and at first I wasn't able to use it correctly, I wasn't able to get my app to work forever because Duo, I'd have to call the IT service and they'd be like, I have no idea what to do.
Students, staff, and faculty are urged to delete any email that looks spam or has any hacking tendencies.
So phishing can come in many different forms. Most commonly we see it come in through email, but it could be a text message or a phone call, and it's a part of a larger technique that we call social engineering. It's a matter of tricking people into doing things they wouldn't otherwise do.
I'm Megan Stubbings, Channel 8 News.
To get more tips on how to spot spam or fraudulent messages, or learn more about cyber training, visit K-State at ksu.edu/cybersecurity. This past weekend, Manhattan hosted its annual Aggieville Showdown, an event that builds a bridge between rural and urban communities in the area by bringing country to the heart of the city. This year's showdown brought in folks from 10 different states to participate in a country music show, a fashion runway, and the beloved cattle walk through Aggieville. This year's show took a departure from the usual routine as the crew had to battle Manhattan's spring weather, but after moving the show up due to high winds and delaying the show because of storms, the event's creator, Christian Callahan, is pleased with the result as a whole.
We dodged the rain a little bit on Saturday night and just started with a delay around 8 p.m., but luckily our exhibitors and the public, they were very committed to still making it out to the event. Everyone loves seeing cattle in the Ville and learning about the agriculture industry, so we're very thankful for all of our attendance.
Coming up, the fast fashion is out and going sustainable is in. We'll be hearing more about the new fashion trend from faculty and students. Plus, the Aggieville construction project is starting once again, closing off the area to pedestrians. That's next.
Moved into the stadium. Beautiful day and everything. Music's loud. The fans are on their feet.
Oh my goodness, what a play by Kalen Culpepper.
To the 5, to the goal line. Touchdown. Touchdown. Kansas inside for the 10. Sheldon is roofed by Carter. Gregory step back three. Takes the shot from distance and scores! Stank. It is gone. It's a
great weekend we had, homecoming, great crowd. The crowd was phenomenal.
It's a great day to be a Wildcat.
If you can keep up.
With the Midtown Aggieville project construction resuming, the alleyway between Morrow and Laramie Streets, bound by 11th and 12th Streets, will be closed for utility work. The construction includes finding and burying power lines, and it's the first of 2 alleys planned to be worked on. This alleyway is expected to open back up August 31st, and the city has plans for the space, including beautification and the possible addition of trash compactors.
There's probably very few hours in any given day that we don't have a trash truck doing something in Aggieville. And what we want to go to with the coordination with the city is to go to trash compactors. And so, like 1 in each block. Yeah, we're looking to do maybe some Aggieville art. Some wall mural art, better lighting. So the idea will be that you'll feel very comfortable walking through those alleys.
There is a rising concern with the lack of sustainability within the fashion realm. See what K-State fashion students have to say. Channel 8 reporter Annabella Peterson has more.
When selecting pieces for your closet this season, keep in mind that sustainability never goes out of style. The fashion industry does have an impact on the environment, so try trading out synthetic fibers for natural ones. Making conscious choices when shopping is not only fashion forward, but shabby chic.
Last spring, I studied abroad on a program called Semester at Sea, and we went to India. Once we got there, we noticed all of the trash kind of piled up on the streets and in the fields and everything, and a huge percentage of that waste was clothing. Seeing it firsthand was such a different experience and really opened my eyes to how big the impact of fast fashion and clothing recycling is in our community and world.
I do a lot of thrifting, and so when finding stuff, I try to find stuff that I can wear for a long time. It's a lot more sustainable than buying from a regular retail store.
The fast fashion industry is responsible for nearly 10% of global carbon dioxide emissions, making it one of the leading causes of pollution.
It's important to focus on things that you can have in your closet for a long time and form more of a capsule wardrobe instead of focusing on the trends and the fads.
When trying to stick to my true style, I try not to find a lot of inspiration online because that's where all the trends are, obviously. And so one of my favorite ways to stay away from that is just seeing people's outfits in real life, just kind of people watching.
I do try and buy a lot of garments that will work for multiple seasons so you can wear them all throughout the year. Super important to increase the use of your garment and wear it as much as you can before you have to recycle it or dispose of it in a sustainable way.
In Manhattan, I'm Annabella Peterson with Channel 8 News.
When thinking of ways to go more green, you can now consider sustainable fashion as an option. Just keep these eco-friendly tips and tricks in mind when purchasing your clothing. Now, Annabella Peterson will join us with an interview with an expert in the fashion sustainability, Dr. Kelsey Doty with the K-State Fashion Department. Annabella?
Thanks, Noah. Today we're here with Dr. Doty, an expert in the field of fashion and sustainability. Thank you so much for coming in today. I appreciate it.
Hi, it's so nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, do you have any advice on how to build a fabulous yet sustainable wardrobe?
Oh, do I? Being a fashion professor, I do love clothes myself. And so something I like to do at least once a year, if not twice, is first thing you want to do is go through all the clothes that you have, okay? Go through all the clothes you own, and I want you to divide them up into different sections, like which ones do you wear a lot of? Put those in a pile. Which ones do you love but rarely wear? They're hard to wear. It's hard to style them. It's hard to really get comfortable in them. Put them in a separate pile. And then in your third pile, you're going to want to put all the clothes that you just know you never wear. You have them, yes, but for so many reasons, we just end up not wearing them, right? So, third pile. And then you're going to go through and you're going to assess, what do you have in that first pile that you love, right? Do you maybe have a lot of activewear? Maybe 80% of what you actually wear every day is workout clothes. That's great. Now you know, okay? And you still probably need that 20% of dressing up, looking nice attire, right? And then you're gonna look at your next pile, the ones that you don't wear very often, and you're gonna wanna ask yourself, why don't you wear them very often, first of all? Do you need them? Are they maybe just for business purposes, for, I don't know, interviews and things like that? Or can you let go of them? Is it time to donate them? And then that third pile is probably a definite donate, right? If you're never wearing those clothes, it's time to donate those.
Well, that is a great tip and advice.
Yeah.
How can shoppers overall just consider their carbon footprint when they're purchasing clothing? I know you said one person can't do it all, but
one person can't do it all, but collectively we're making change, right? So a great way to like cut down on your carbon footprint is to stop ordering so much online, honestly, right? I always like to try and find it locally first. And we have some really great locally owned businesses here in Manhattan that are perfect to go find what you need, right? So I like to go to Goodwill first and see if I can't find something kind of what I need in that range, because buying secondhand, first of all, is going to cut down on the carbon that is needed to produce an original garment, right? So if you can buy it secondhand, do that. Not always possible, and not everybody loves secondhand, that's fine. The next thing I like to do is go shop at the locally owned independent stores here in town, right?
Right.
They're always, the customer service is fantastic. They have really great brands here in town, and I just love supporting them. I do understand they're more expensive. There are also, you know, like there's a Dillard's here in town. There is an H&M. I wouldn't suggest H&M, but it is, at least you're not having a bunch of stuff shipped to you, right? They're getting large shipments to the store, and it's much different than if, you know, 500 people had things individually shipped to them.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
Absolutely.
I appreciate your time, and thank you for sharing so many good, helpful tips.
Anytime.
Back to you, Noah.
The weather is up next. It's starting to warm up, but will these warmer temperatures stick around into the next week? Plus, tulips and flowers are beginning to bloom. We'll hear more on that process and the new plants around campus next.
Together, we represent a diverse and eclectic population.
Together, we believe that diversity, inclusion, and sportsmanship are expectations.
Together, we promote a welcoming and positive environment for all student athletes, coaches, and visitors.
Together, we treat all people with respect and dignity.
No matter their color, creed, gender, ethnicity, or sexual identity.
Together, we are an empowered family who empowers family.
Family, diverse and together.
Stronger together.
As college athletics continues to change, one thing has stayed the same:
the loyalty and support of our K-State family.
But now, there's a new way you can show your support.
You can now help student athletes like me get compensated for our name, image, and likeness.
Whether it is contributing to our official NIL collectives
or requesting autographs and more through the Open Doors Marketplace,
you are helping K-State student athletes succeed by connecting with you.
So what are you waiting for?
Come transform the K-State student athlete brand today.
Championship on the line. Good! It's good!
It's getting warmer outside, but are these warm temperatures here to stay? And for how long? Summer Spurkey is here with a look at the weather. Summer?
The seasons changing from winter to spring has spurred a lot of changes in local Manhattan nature. Gardens and plants enthusiasts alike are taking on new routines with longer days and new available plants. Across K-State campus, flowers like tulips and gladioluses have either bloomed or are in the process of beginning to bloom. At this time, gardeners are typically starting to plant their annual seeds, as well as trim the branches and dead limbs off pre-existing perennials. Greta Berg, a Kansas State horticulture student, says we are soon approaching Manhattan's frost-free date.
Frost-free date is any date that past that we have a less than 50% chance, I think, of having a frost. Like if you were, like let's say last week you planted something and then all of a sudden we got like a really, really cold night and then all of your petunias or your violets or your marigolds got frost damage, then they would die. So our frost-free date is the date that we usually tell gardeners that we can plant any annuals in the ground without having to worry about them dying from frost.
Let's take a look at the weather. First, we're gonna go over our national temperatures. Over here near New York, we can see that we're in around like the 60s area, which is gonna be kind of a theme for both New York and Kansas. We'll see coming up. But down in Florida, they're getting a little bit more heat as spring comes with an 86. Over here near California, we can see that it's gonna be around 82, around 76, around 70 up in this region over here. So if you're going over there, maybe pack a bathing suit if you wanna go surf in California or whatever. It's gonna be a little bit hot over here. Moving on to our Kansas weather. Like I said, we're kind of sticking to the 60s theme over here in the Southwest. We can see we're sticking kind of in like the 67 range. And then once we get kind of towards the Manhattan area, we're getting a little bit cooler with a little bit of a 58 around this area. But overall, we're going to be kind of sticking in the 60s range. Moving on to our 24-hour forecast. This evening, as we're going to have pretty clear skies, it's going to be around 64 degrees out. Friday morning, it's going to be pretty chilly with 35 being our high, but it's going to quickly heat up to be around 69 degrees with zero humidity and our winds being around 8 miles per hour. Looking at our 5-day forecast, we're starting around 66 for Thursday, but we're quickly going to heat up with Sunday and Monday being at 92 and 90, and on Monday is going to be 92 with some rain happening. So it's going to get a little bit hotter, but we're going to still be in that 60s, 70s range until Sunday and Monday. Come back and tell us back. Thanks. Back to you, Noah.
Sports is up next. We'll be hearing more about the big announcement of Aoka Lee's final season return. Plus, we'll hear about how a new workout space is bringing together a community in Manhattan through some kickboxing. That's next.
So within industrial engineering, you can actually start your master's degree a year early and start taking those classes your senior year. And then after you go through those upper level courses, you only really have a year left and you would come out with your bachelor's and master's degree, which is something I have been considering just because, you know, it's one extra year and I do love K-State, so it's like, you know, win-win. But that's a perk with being an industrial engineer. You're able to get your master's degree in just one extra year.
This crowd is electric here today. I'll tell you what, it is something to behold. This place, boys, is hopping. Johnson wants to throw it, wants to go deep, and brought in. Get it! Touchdown, Kansas State. This kid can play. Got for the end zone. Brown brings it in for a touchdown. The freshman. That's the future for K-State.
Jones unloads a bases-clearing triple.
2-2, Colts strike three in the outside corner. Another strikeout for Buss on a high fastball.
K-State has done it again. Got him swinging. K-State wins the series.
It's that time again. For the sports updates, we're joined by sports anchor Cole Duchendorf to hear more about what's going on in the sports world. Cole?
Aoka Lee will return for a final season with the women's basketball team, K-State women's basketball social media accounts announced last Sunday. The star senior, who is using her final year of eligibility, holds the NCAA women's record for points in a game, as well as several K-State records, including points per game, total blocks, and total rebounds. Last season, the 6'6" center averaged nearly 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 blocks in 27 games, helping K-State reach the second round of March Madness.
I think my teammates are a big part of it. I think, you know, you're not going to go to every school and just have great relationships with all your teammates. So I think that's really a big part of it. And then just coming off the year we had, like, we're capable of, you know, winning a conference title and things like that, and not being able to do that was like frustrating this year. So that's also another big one.
Inclusion and belonging on campus are important, but for some students, finding them in a new town is a little harder. Some K-Staters are bonding over the ability to sweat together. Channel 8 reporter Sophie Smith has the story.
Finding community in a town like Manhattan has always been easy, but thanks to this building, a pair of boxing gloves, and a 30-minute workout, it just got a whole lot easier.
9 Rounds is a 30-minute kickboxing workout that works for people of all different skill levels. Since joining 9 Rounds, a lot of people in Manhattan have been able to form a new and different sense of community like never before.
9 Round to us is more than a gym, more than a studio. It's all about community, and community is so strong here at the gym. A lot of people actually come to 9 Round because it's not like any other gym.
K-State athletes like Aoka Lee and Rebecca Dallinger love being a part of this 9 Rounds community.
The new community I've made here has been really fun, and I've just loved bringing my teammates to
experience this community and experience this fun workout. So yeah, I've loved this place.
K-State center Aoka Lee said in addition to being a part of this great community, she is really staying in shape during her off-season.
It's been fun to get to know them. A lot of students, when they come to Manhattan, Kansas to be an athlete, they leave their families behind. And so this gives them another opportunity to get to be in another community.
In Manhattan, I'm Sophie Smith for Channel 8 News.
Many gym communities offer special rates for students in Manhattan. Well, that's all the time we have for sports. Noah, back to you.
Coming up, another check on the weekend weather. We'll be back after this.
In a time of evolution, it is our time to elevate and carve our place atop in a new era. An era where championship expectations collide with championship support. We all must come together, fighting, ever fighting for the purple and the white. Times may change, but generation after generation, the support of K-Staters never wavers. K-State fans, are you ready to be a part of powering K-State athletic excellence in a new era?
So the first third of the runway.
Deviations left of course approved. Bobcat 1-2, proceed when able.
Let's get one last look at the weekend weather. Summer joins us again from our Weather Center.
Looking at our weekend forecast, we can see that we're starting out on Friday in the 70s, but it's quickly going to heat up with us getting in the 90s on Sunday. And earlier, we're talking that's going to get in the 90s on Monday additionally. So the spring's coming, and it is shown through our weekend forecast. Back to you, Noah.
That's all the time we have for today. We'll see you back here again next week for more news and the latest updates from the Manhattan area. Have a great day.
This is Channel 8 News.